All right, so we're going to dive into request topics because we need to get this show wrapped up. God damn it. I don't want to read this. All right, Mountain Monsters, Part 2. Let's go. When we left off in Part 1, the rogue team had been harassing our defenders of Appalachia by posting their personal information and credit reports on the wall of a barn. In this episode, we get a closer look and learn the rogue team included cards with letters and numbers as a puzzle for the Ames team to complete.
The fuck is this, a children's game?
Yeah. The team heads back to Trapper's command post / bunker to attempt to decipher this puzzle. Things get heated as the team can't put the pieces together, and Buck and Jeff get nose to nose, ready to fight each other. This leads to Trapper snapping and scolding the team. They shake hands as Wild Bill yells "Hell yes" continuously in the background. They figure out the cards spell out the code "shot by," and then they learn they have to return to eastern Kentucky, where the Bigfoot known as the Wild Man lurks, to get more pieces of the puzzle. But before they have Willie and Bill hide game trail cameras all over Buck's truck in hopes of getting a picture of a member of this team. Oh, I need a drink.
It's understandable.
They return to eastern Kentucky and enter a barn where they find the cards for the next puzzle, solving it, but within seconds, massive car lights surround the building. The team rushes out to confront the mystery team of criminals, only to find that the cars surrounding the building are theirs. The rogue team has stolen every member of the Ames team's car, drove them to central Kentucky, and surrounded the building with them.
Why does this feel like where in the world is Carmen Sandiego, and she's just leaving these clues for these little kids to find?
Yeah. Well, Grand Theft Auto doesn't sit real well with Bill, especially when he just bought his used police cruiser just a few weeks prior, and he begins yelling in anger. It's a legit old-style police cruiser.
Nice.
The team rushes to Buck's truck, hoping one of the camera caught a glimpse of one of the rogue team members. The team finds that the hidden cameras caught a picture of a man wearing a ski mask fucking around in Buck's truck, while Bill thinks this is an actual ninja.
God damn it.
Then a mysterious cell phone rings as
ninja. A damn ninja in my damn truck.
Then a mysterious cell phone rings as the team finds it and listens to the call. All they hear is a recording of Trapper yelling, "Son of a bitch, they shot that thing." What the fuck? You know, as we near... I'm sure this is probably like the last paragraph of this I might have to read in a while. But this has broken me on so many levels. I've read some of the dumbest shit from these things, like, in the past year. It's like, I've read about overweight hicks getting naked, diving for magical axes in the bottom of ponds. Like, this show, man, it's just... And people are eating this shit up,
Highest rated show in Destination
Again,
America.
though, I have to fucking ask, where are the authorities in this fucking universe that this show exists?
Nowhere. Alright, here we go. Home stretch. They solve the puzzle and find out the message is "shot by C-Quad." They return to Trapper and are about to call it quits because they can't seem to get anywhere when Huckleberry, of all people, notice that the puzzle also has numbers that represent a telephone number. The team chooses to call the number from the bunker that has no Wi-Fi or cell service on a cell phone. Getting Wild Bill so excited, he begins to yell, "Put that sumbitch on speaker." And when they do, we hear someone using a voice disguising device saying, "Hello, Trapper, are you ready to make a deal?" It sounded like Jigsaw from the Saw films.
Please tell me it's Donald Trump.
This is where our episode ends, with a goddamn cliffhanger. So my question is this. Where do you feel Season 4 ranks on a scale of best seasons from Mountain Monsters? Is this the most outlandish season yet? Yes, it is. Does Wild Bill have the potential for a spin-off show? Yes, he does. Mm-hmm. And your theories on who this mystery team is?
The producers.
Yeah. production management, speaker guys, soundstage crew, like, you name it. Whoever's there filming at this time.
Grip.
Yeah. I mean, who else is going to have the keys to their fucking cars and their credit reports and all that shit than the company that they work for?
It's HR. It's human resources.
It's HR.
I will say that I kind of miss them just kind of having a creature of the week, like where it was just that was it and then it ended.
Yeah, because this season is completely off the wall.
It's the Mountain Monsters cinematic universe.
Yeah.
Oh my god, don't no.
No. There's gonna be spin-off shows. There almost has to be. There's too much money to be made there. Wild Bill.
Fucking Wild Bill.
Yep.
There's the man. He poses like this in every episode, apparently. There he is. For those of you who have never saw Mountain Monsters, there you go. So, yeah. I think that ends it for a while.
You seem way too upset about this.
That it's ending, or that he just read that? No.
It's a lot. It's a lot to read.
It's a lot. And, you know, the thing is when you're reading it, you're thinking, oh, sounds really over, like, written. No. This is actually underwritten compared to what the show actually is. Like, when you sit down and watch it, I'm amazed he can put it into words.
He is a wordsmith with this shit. I'll give him that. Oh my god. Okay, so we have a couple other request topics. I just need to get to them. Oh, come on. Where are they? This happens every single fucking time.
You were not prepared.
That's not it.
No one gets my references.
Bitch.
No one ever gets my references.
No one gets what I'm saying. Okay, here we go. This comes from Cody. China passed away. My question is, who is the next best candidate to make the worst porn in history out of Fat Disgusting Sonny? Well, I think you'd be able to feel this better than me, because...
You know all about wrestlers and porn. Get to it. Come on.
Sonny.
Sonny... She's actually a WWE Hall of Famer. She was the blonde that managed pretty much any tag team in the in the mid to late 90s.
Boys.
No, but she did manage.
Kane and Undertaker.
She did manage. I think she may have. I know she managed Legion of Doom. She managed the Godwins, the Pig Farmers. She managed Body Donnas, the ones that were like the gym guys, like the workout guys, and she's managed a few others too. There are several that already have done bad porno, so I can't use them.
Hogan.
Yeah. I don't know. I think as far as like former female wrestlers getting involved in that, I think it's going to start dying out. I think
because there's no reason to start it now. Back then, there was like, you fucked up here, you don't really have much.
Because there's just a laundry list of female wrestlers who have done pornography. There was Missy Hyatt, there was Sunny, there was Beulah McGillicuddy, there was...
That's a terrible fucking name.
There was Chastity, Mickey James, before she got heavily into wrestling.
Okay. Beulah McGillicuddy.
It's not a real name.
It's an awful name, regardless of whether it's real or not.
Candice Michelle.
Balls Mahoney.
Candice Michelle did some... Candice Michelle actually did Skinamax movies.
Oh, shit. Motherfucking Skinamax.
But for anybody who's interested to know more about this, What Culture Wrestling on YouTube have a video where they list off the wrestlers that have done pornography.
Oh, cool. So you can go and find out.
So if you want to go and find out, you can go and find out, and then you can Google images. But as far as
Google images,
who would
Google video
that's in there right now, I'm thinking maybe somebody like it's not going to be the Bellas. It's not going to be like maybe a Summer Rae, but I think that she's even too good for it. I think you're going to find some like independent female wrestlers that can't make it in the WWE might get involved in stuff like that. Some of them may already be doing it. Who knows? But the thing is that I hate the association of female wrestling with pornography. I hate it because of people like Sunny, like people like China, where
She's
they're
dead.
like,
you pay your respects.
well, like the fact that that's how it was looked upon for the longest time, is they were just something to look at.
Yeah.
They weren't actually like
They weren't
athletic
talented or nothing.
or talented or you know what have you. And we're getting back to, you know, the way it used to be, where the women, like back in the 50s and 60s, where the women actually, man, they were pretty brutal with each other.
So what you're saying is, you don't want people to judge the whole group by individuals.
Thank you.
I don't want you to judge a boob by its volume. Because there could be a good wrestler behind that.
Could be.
What's her face?
You don't even know her damn name.
No, I don't, but I know her because...
You know her boobs.
Yeah, thank you. It's not that. She was probably Trish Stratus.
Trish Stratus actually had a reduction after she got out of wrestling.
After she got it enhanced because Vince is like, I like that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Get big boobs or get the fuck out.
There were some women that he hired that obviously the reason he hired them was because they had big boobs.
Oh, yeah.
They were not talented.
No.
What names, William?
And most of the new divas.
Nurse BB.
Yeah,
She-
first of
she
all,
was-
when you come up
yeah,
with a name like that,
yeah,
you know all you're doing
yeah.
is eye candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on.
Look at these teenage boys riled up.
Yeah.
Moving on to one.
That's
I
the,
gotta shake
that's
the
the
chain
attitude
every
era,
time.
man. That's the attitude
This
era.
comes from Devin Moore. He asks, "What other podcasts do you guys recommend?"
Because I talk a lot about wrestling.
Grindcast.
Because I talk a lot about wrestling. Jim Ross Report.
Okay.
Listen to it every week. He's really good.
I like. It's a show called Fat Guys at the Movies. It's on iHeartRadio. He's a good critic. He's pretty fair with most things. Although there's some times where like he's given like a movie that's obviously really, really bad, and he's like, "Yeah, it's fun. I laughed at it. This movie rocks." I'm like, "What the fuck? You give Vacation a good score? Are you kidding me?"
Another podcast that we kind of model ourselves around a little bit, the Completely Unnecessary podcast.
Who are they?
We're nothing like it.
As you can tell, I don't.
No, that's
Pat
Pat Contry, the guy that Jason said, "Who the fuck is that?" We're trying to get in contact with him. We'd like to do a crossover.
But he
ever
covers a lot of gaming, pop culture.
Yeah, they're funny too. Although sometimes, like, I like Pat. He is funny, but like you can tell there's certain subjects they get on where he's just like he's quiet mad.
Yeah.
And like he's just sitting there, and all he does is drinks out of his water bottle a couple times. He doesn't really say much, and he's just like, "All right, well, moving on."
He does that too. What are you talking about?
That's just him. He's just like, "I'm not going to talk. I'm going to show up and get a paycheck."
Where?
Where?
Where the fuck is he?
It's coming. It's in the mail. So yeah, that's a good one. I listen to Roosterteeth Podcast. I like that. It's funny.
I listen because I like horror movies. I listen to the classic horror cast. It's three guys. They pick a movie each month that they review. This past month they did The Thing from 1982. They actually turned me on to a movie that I never saw before called The Night of the Hunter, which was really good.
Isn't that based on the Lovecraft story?
No.
Huh.
No. It's about a priest or a preacher who was after these kids because their dad stole money and went to jail and ended up dying, and he hid the money and they were orphans. So this preacher shows up because he was in the same cell as their dad.
What an asshole.
So he shows up trying to get that money, and the kids run away and they're trying to get away from him, and he's like stalking them, and it's really creepy. And then there's a part where he marries a local woman and he kills her. And it's just a really disturbing movie.
That seems like a really awkward break. He's just like, I'm getting married now.
Yeah, it really, the whole movie is just very weird and unsettling, and it's like, it's filmed kind of like German impressionism, kind of like with angles and shadows and weird.
Cabinet of Cagliostro.
Caligari.
Dr. Cagliostro.
Yeah. Kind of like that, using like angles and shadows and like making picket fences look creepy as hell, and just a
I'll
really
be the judge of that.
really cool film.
Bring me this movie.
And then they
Let
also
me see it.
They also have a segment which I love, is where they're like films that we will recommend but won't necessarily talk about on the show. Where they talk about stuff that you just see on Netflix. Like they talked about like, the ABCs of Death and stuff like that.
Netflix movies sometimes are fucking fantastic. To just sit down and watch. Oh my god, like Dumplings.
Oh fuck! That movie's disturbing as all hell.
I can't remember what it's actually called. I think it's called Ghost Story, something like that. It's really
Ghost Stories.
No. It's just like Ghost Story, and it's like this Chinese movie about this like like warrior or whatever. He goes into this forest and shit just keeps going really ridiculous. And at the end, he gets like golden armor and flies into the sky and battles this thing. Or the fuck was it? Toilet Zombie.
Oh, that Japanese one?
It's pretty good if you don't mind really disgusting humor.
Yeah, it's really, really bad.
It's not bad, dude.
It's disgusting as hell.
It is disgusting.
So there's a handful of different ones from different things.
Yeah, I'm trying to, like, I don't know, like... I mean, I guess if you could still consider, like, Howard Stern's show technically a podcast, like, I guess in this day and age it would be, because it's like they do film it but you can't watch it on TV anymore as far as I know. So
Norm Macdonald had an interesting failed podcast, if you can still find episodes of it. It was
a lot of old comedians had failed ones.
Pretty bad.
Norm Macdonald had one, like he had it what's the guy who was with Kimmel on the Man Show? Adam
Carolla.
Adam Carolla, he had a podcast that failed.
Well, yeah.
horribly.
I mean, that doesn't.
I mean, he had a show that failed too.
He's failed at a lot of things.
Leave Adam Carolla alone. He died the way he lived.
A failure.
Thank you, Jason. Your raise is in the middle.
He died, and people remember him as the guy that sat beside Dr. Drew on Loveline.
Yeah. He was the guy with the eyebrows that was in construction before he went to comedy.
I'm not talking about Eugene Levy.
Yeah. Well,
That's the other guy with the
another
eyebrows.
major eyebrows. All right, so Will and I are going to finish our discussion of our fun game buying adventures from the previous episodes. So this is part 2. Okay.
Some more...
You want to...
Well, you know, because she wanted us to talk about things that we kind of regret getting rid of. Too of games that we got rid of that we really regret getting rid of. For me, it was a lot of boxed NES games like Mega Man 4 and 5.
What the fuck are you doing?
And
they're boxed? What the fuck
yeah,
are you doing?
I was a kid. I was like a teenager.
Fool.
I was a teenager, and I had all those boxed games, and I just sold them off for like $5 a piece. And
you're that guy that older Will would have come to him and been like, "You're a fucking jackass. Give me that game."
When I can figure out how to travel through time, I'm going to go back and punch myself in the stomach.
Stomach.
I remember
face.
I got a Genesis lot off of somebody that came in a drawer, like a storage drawer.
Yeah.
I don't regret getting rid of the storage drawer. I regret getting rid of one of the games inside of the storage drawer that I looked at it and I was like, what the fuck is this? It's probably bullshit. And it was Alicia Dragoon. Loose, it's going for $55 right
insane.
now. And I just
not
got
a
it.
rare game by any means.
I got it in a lot for like $10 in a storage case, and I'm like, fuck this. Nobody likes Genesis RPGs other than Shining Force. That was it. Little did I know, I'm a dumb motherfucker.
It happens.
A lot for me. Pretty dumb.
I got rid of a lot of boxed N64 stuff too, like my Zelda stuff and a bunch of stuff. And I remember I actually traded in a GameStop. Boy, was I a dumbass. And the guy behind the counter is just like, well, we're just going to throw these boxes away. And I'm like, now looking back, I'm like, why the hell did I...
Why the fuck are they throwing the boxes away?
The palpable
That was
regret.
when they were throwing away all packaging because they were just putting the cartridges out.
Yeah.
I fucking hate GameStop.
Yeah.
You fucking love games.
I kept, which is funny, out of all the games I kept my fucking box for, it was Majora's Mask. And that's the one I don't like, that's the one I like the least out of the Zelda games that were on the 64. I have the gold cart for Ocarina. I had the box. I threw it the fuck out.
You're a fucking dumb. What the hell?
One
Dude, I was in fucking... Like, I was still in elementary school when the 64 came out. My parents be like, get rid of that shit. I gotta get rid of it. Like,
yeah. One story that I am so glad is I sold my entire Super Nintendo collection and all my Nintendo powers that ran up until the Super Nintendo ended. And I sold them to a friend of my mom's who worked with her because her son was getting into gaming, and she's like, I'll buy these off of you, that way he can play them and stuff, because he's young yet. He was like 5 years old at the time. So I sold them all to him. I had complete in-box stuff and everything, and didn't think much of it until when I started getting back into game collecting. I was like, I'm going to reach out and see if they actually still have that stuff. Mm-hmm. I ended up buying everything back. It was like
at an inflated price.
No,
no, just
not at all. Actually, I think I paid her more than what she was asking me for, and I think I may have paid her $100. And she wanted less than that. Frick, she was just going to give them back to me. And I'm like, no, I'm giving you money for this. It's like everything was still their boxes and manuals, and the system was in good shape, and all my Nintendo powers and everything I got back. I was very lucky with that.
True indeed.
I don't have that scenario.
Yeah, that's one of those.
My stuff got sold. There was one time something of mine I suspect came back to me, and it's only because it was Top Gun on the NES. I know I had it as a kid. Will and I went to. It was up in E-Town. Mm-hmm. There was a game store there that's no longer there, but.
Game Traders Club.
Game Traders Club. They had just it was done almost like flea market style. It was just bins of shit, and it's unless there's a price, it's $2 or something. And I'm flipping through, and here's this Top Gun that shows up with my last name written on the side of it, and it looks like my mom's handwriting. Mm-hmm. My mom did do that from time to time. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm like, is this horrible game of mine really coming back to my hands? So I bought it. I have it. I showed my mom, and she was like, yeah, I fucking wrote on that. I'm like, how is that possible? That game had to have been, in our hands and gone by, the 90s, and then it shows back up in, the early 2000s in a fucking game store up in Ephrata.
Yep. Yeah, it's crazy how that stuff works sometimes. It really is. I know some of the box games that I had, they're gone. They're in Florida somewhere. I sold them to a neighbor. And I know he had one of the biggest NES collections I knew of at the time, Nick. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure he has a lot of NES stuff boxed. And I know he has a lot of my games that I sold him. But
yeah. I know I kind of regret passing on a Virtual Boy when I could have gotten one. It wasn't in the greatest shape, though, but, it was one of those things, you don't see it very often.
If I saw you had that, I would have just thrown it out, saved you the trouble.
It's really highly collectible though right now, especially now that VR is coming back. Everybody's like, look at this piece of shit, $5,000.
another thing that I kind of I was very fortunate with having friends that just I think I had blah 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 in my closet or in my attic or in my basement.
Yeah, I get real salty with that because some of those friends are my friends too. They're just oh, what? Well, Matt doesn't collect games, right? And you're just like, no. I got the bigger collection anyway, so support me. Fuck him. But I'm just like, here, Will, here's a fucking CD album.
You were so salty.
Yeah, systems that were given to me included a CDI, a 3DO.
An Odyssey.
And a Virtual Boy.
Panzer Dragon Saga.
You just have a list of this etched into the back of your mind?
Oh, it's just one of those things, I'll be having this real nice day, everything's going perfect, and I'll just get, text, a little text notification will go off. He's like, hey, look, somebody just gave me this. And it's this fucking, literal, extended truck bed of games and shit, systems, ceiling high, and he's like, I have to pay a cent.
He just wants you to be happy for him, but
I'm like, we can enjoy this.
It's the last time I got to enjoy shit like that, though.
I don't know.
I know.
That's why grinding gaming's here.
I can't enjoy life at all, so.
That's why grinding gaming's coming around. We're going to be, one of these days.
So many games to play.
We're going to play a shit ton of games.
I know. We just have to get a day where we can all just sit down. I need to buy another external hard drive so we can store it all.
Again, I've got 60 vacation hours saying that I need to fucking use.
I know. We got to get it done.
You tell me a time, I'll request it off. I'll get paid to fucking play video games.
There you go.
Again. It's just crazy how much the market for games has changed, the landscape has changed, but yet you can still find stuff. It's crazy because like
It's a little dry in the York area.
You gotta hit yard sales. You
Yeah,
gotta
you
hit
got to.
people clearing out their kids' stuff or clearing out stuff that.
Well, Billy doesn't need this.
Like, well, I can't sell this at GameStop anymore or whatever because it's an older system and they don't want to deal with eBay and they don't want to do so. Like, you know what? We'll just sell this out. You know.
I'll tell you right now, I will gladly take donations of games you would like to see us play on our channel.
It's true.
You can always email me. My email stuff is all on my Facebook page. I'd love to get my hands on a Bubsy 3D version because I want to play that on the channel because I want to get motion sick every time I jump in the air and the camera pans down like whiplashing fast.
And don't be afraid that we won't have the system because odds are between the two of us
Oh
we'll
yeah,
probably have
we got it. I've got like 12 systems alone. Will's got like 50 donated systems. Only 3 he paid for.
I paid for a few more than that.
Like I just like stand up for his own like I paid for more than that motherfucker.
You don't have him shake his chains at you. I paid for more than that.
I bought my PS2 legit. All right. Well, I think that'll end this episode because we got to film some unboxings. So you get to watch. There's a little sneak peek for this. You might hear this before the Loot Crate one goes up. But Will suspects he's going to be very upset with his Loot Crate.
Yeah, I get the feeling that this is going to really suck.
It's
Look
like
how smashed
it's
it
like
is.
2 brick sizes.
Yeah.
Like it's. Yeah.
What's this garbage? Throw it out.
Not very heavy. It's just a box of stuff that I'm probably going to want to sell on eBay.
So get ready for that video. So until next time, guys, all of our information's in the annotations below. You can reach out to us on all of those places. And as always, we thank you so much for watching and listening. We'll catch you in the next episode.